Good morning, students. Yesterday, we had discussed the French society during the late 18th century, and introduction we had shared. So, in proceeding to the further segment, what had happened in France when Louis XVI was the king, as we have discussed that the treasure was empty, there was nothing in the treasure. So he thought, after the discussion from his minister, that tax should be imposed over the population. But before that, he took a meeting or took any decision about that. Means here the history says about what had happened earlier in France. We will see the glimpse of that one. The society of the state was part of feudal system that is dated back to Middle Ages. Means it is said the society was totally under the feudal system. Feudal system means landlord system. In Hindi we called it Samantavad. That means jamindari system or the landlord system that dated back to the Middle Ages. The term old regime, the old system of means जो like पुराना साम्राज्य जो था is usually used to describe the society and institution of France before 1789. Meant what was the system before 1889 was. So, figure point 2 has been shown. The figure that yesterday we had discussed the chart, like division of the society. It's not given here. This division of society, like it was divided into clergy, nobility, and three section of the third estate. So the system estates with French society was organized peasants made up of 90%. Means the division like three estate was first was second and third again divided into three. First was clergy, second was nobility, third was uh, educated people and professionalists, then peasants, then landless. These were. So this segment or this one, or means the third state, if we say that 90% population was formed by third estate. However, 60% of the land was owned by the noble. Means population is of 90% formed by peasants and 60% of the land was owned by nobles. Means the whole of land was by the nobles, and church and other rich members of the third estates. The member of the first estate is that the clergy and the nobility. The means the church and like 60% of owned by the nobles, and church and other richer members of the third estate. Like 90% is population occupying, means forming that peasantry class. And if we take about, means suppose they should have more land but they did not have. 60% land holding was with nobles. Remember this data, 60% land holding with neighbors. And church. The members of the first two estates, now another characteristics is that clergy and nobility enjoyed certain privileges, rights by the birth. Suppose, for example, if any rich family, if any newcomer, or you can say any child take birth, so automatically he will get all the rights whatever existing in the society for the rich people. Means if a person is taking birth in a poor family, will be exempted from all those rights. Taking birth in a rich family will getting all the facilities and exempted from, you can say, any other kind of restriction. So like most important of these were exemption from paying the tax. Among all those rights, what were the main? That rich people will not pay the tax. Getting? And nobles further enjoyed the feudal privileges. Feudal privileges means nobles always they were confined to all those rights like Samantas or Samantavad was popular and they were enjoying their rights, and these included feudal dues means feudal dues like the land related dues which they exerted from the peasants means collection of taxes. In Hindi we call this like lagan they had to taken from the peasant class. So means like feudal dues they had to, and they were exerted from the peasant, and peasant were obliged to render the service to the landlord. Peasants means like all the farmers they were obliged to render means they had to pay their service to the lord. To the work in this house and fields, to serve in the army, or to import you can say participate in building roads. To serve in the army or in the to participate in the building roads means like construction work, army, whatever means like this kind of job they used to do. So here we have seen in this paragraph the division of the society. Like what was it means 90% is constituted by the peasantry class, that is third state, and 60% land with the nobles and church, and people were forced to render this service to these feudals or the nobilities. So 3 points have been extracted. Now another is that taxes, two kind of taxes were very much essential for everyone there. That church to extracted its share of taxes called tithes, and the peasants and finally all the member of third state pay the taxes to the state. Means two kind of, remember, two kind of taxes were there. First tax was given to church, it was compulsory. Another is given to king. Means in a state a particular common man or poor person, everyone has to pay two taxes. So each these include the direct tax that is called tally, and number of the indirect tax which were levied in articles of every consumptions like salt and tobacco. Means like we purchase some article which are of our need, and salt is one of the commodity that is very you can say important. So these had to pay by the people. So means like what we are purchasing, automatically we are giving the tax to the government, but one tax was given to church. So the burden on the finance activity of the state through taxes was borne by the third state. Was borne by the third state means was tolerated or bared by the third state. Means third state was under the burden of tax imposition. Hope you understand whole picture of this page particularly. Firstly, we discuss about the aristocratic life of king, how he was living and what was the situation or condition of the empire. Then second is about the division of the population. Third is taxation. So 3 points mainly we read in this paragraph. So now another picture is here, the struggle to survive. Struggle to survive we will discuss in next video. Okay.